So did Endor stayed out.
All right, she did endure, stayed out. I think we are now back showing audio here. Now.
Okay, no. Yeah, I think it's up.
Yeah, it looks like we are back here. Sorry about that. We pushed go live, and everything was telling me that we were going live until I looked and saw that we were not pushing to stream at all. But we are live now. We're just now into this 21 laps, 22 laps. We just came out of a caution caused by Nick Nieben. I'm not sure what exactly happened that caused him to bring out that caution, but I was trying to get the stream back. Looks like we're back underway. Tracer did, and Justin Dorr, the Commodore, are P1 and P2 on the racetrack at the moment. They opted to stay out during that caution period.
Indeed, they did. Interesting gamble on the strategy here. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out for them. But running in third right now is our pole sitter, Rodrigo Franzoni, and chasing him, the championship leader, Adriano Pinero. So these guys on the fresher rubber, they have got to make this aggression work. I said it on the pre-race before we realized that we had those technical issues, that we're expecting a lot of aggression early on in the stints, and we certainly got that on the start. It was clean aggression, to be sure, but everyone was being aggressive, looking for those spots to make passes. And that is largely because here at Milwaukee, this track is going to eat up tires long term, and therefore the passing is going to become harder and harder and harder as time goes on. As Pinero, I noticed behind, getting a little bit cozy with the wall off of turn number 2. And that's one thing that you always got to be careful of here at Milwaukee.
Trying to make that. Oh, we got a car spinning off of turn 4. Looks like Sean Dunham there. He's sitting in the middle of the racetrack. We are gone yellow, so the yellow has come out. And that is a good break for Shadid Endor. That probably allows them now to get on pit road and get that pit stop in now.
Terrible luck, though, for Sean Dunham. He started 10th in this race, but he was running in the top 5 up until that caution came out. So from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows for that number 6 machine, brings us under our second caution. Shadid Endor, let's see what they do here. My guess would likely be that they stay out as long as they can and come in under green and hoping that the caution comes out later on in the going. They still have fuel left to make a sizable number of this race. 85 lap race, and usually you could get about 55 to 60 laps here. So it's going to be a long while before I expect them on the pit road unless they want to come in now. And we'll see. Pit road is open this time by. And Justin Dorr not coming in. That's a little bit of a feint there.
Wow, okay. You know, I mean, the first time it was probably a good gamble, being that it was fairly early in the run. The second time, I think they're still gambling for another caution between here and the next 25 laps or so. We got a couple hitting pit road, though. We got Cabral and Beto Sousa hitting pit road.
Got a couple of takers at least. I'm actually not seeing Beto Sousa on pit road.
Okay, that's Sean Dunham.
That's Sean Dunham.
So he's got, new set of tires to get away those set that he flat spotted there. Even though we don't really have flat spots here at iRacing. Want to get new tires on. Remember, each car has 3 sets of tires. You start with 1 set on your car and 2 sets in the pits. So a lot of these guys that have already pitted at least once have at least put on that new set of tires already. So they're down to 1 in their pit stall. I guess I don't think Cabral. I think Cabral just topped off. I didn't see him. I don't think he changed tires. I think he just topped off. So he just tried to make this run go a little bit longer than the cars in front of him, and that might not be a bad move.
It probably wouldn't be, especially since we are fairly close to what you would expect a fuel run to be from here on out. perhaps perhaps they did. Well, whether they took tires or not, I'm going to have to look deeper into that. But they are going to have to fuel save a little bit, I would wager, in order to guarantee if it will work. But if a caution were to come out now, I think they'd be in a very good position to gain out of this. And as for Shadid and Door, this is staying out on that first caution. I think is the example of they made the bet on that first caution, and now they have to lay in it. As I believe caution. We will get...
Yeah, getting ready to go, 1 to go, I think, this time around.
Yep, we have one more lap to green here. And we're trying to make moves on this restart once more. That's going to be something that Franzoni and Pinero are going to want to do, especially since Shadid and Door do have worn-out tires. But this is one of those tracks where it's entirely possible with a different driving style that you can hold off a guy on fresh tires for a long time and make them wear themselves out. And I think that's what Shadid and Door are going to want to do coming to this new restart, starting on lap 31 here out of 85.
Shadid with that nice clean air out in front of him, has the purple lap of the afternoon, once flat, getting ready to take the field, going green again as they are coming into the entrance of turn 3 down the backstretch.
We're getting ready once more, going up to that high line there, trying to prevent drivers from overtaking. Of course, you can't overtake on the inside before you get to the start-finish line, or else you get a penalty. Pace car peels off. Shadid laying back quite a bit, gets on the throttle once again. Green flag flies. Justin Door trying to stay with him, and Franzoni is staying with Justin quite a bit there. He works that low line there. Door running a bit high, trying to stay out of the draft of Shadid in the middle of the corner. So let's see if Franzoni can make this work. He still has that fresh tire advantage, I wager, but he's got to make this move work. He's right up there on the gearbox there as he comes off of turn number 4, looking to the inside now as they head into 1. Side by side.
The higher line's going to have a bit of a better launch off the backstretch. We'll see as they remain side by side midway down the backstretch going into 3.
Indeed he does. Justin Door clears him almost, and Franzoni goes back on the low side there. He has the grip mid-corner now. Still side by side down the straight. He has the toe of Shadid in front of him, does Justin Door. Still side by side through 1 and 2. Franzoni wants to get this pass over with, but Door is relentless right now, and this is bringing Adriano Pinero and Christian Eckert into this battle as well. Still running wheel to wheel is Franzoni and Door. Door has been doing sensational right now. Still side by side. Franzoni still trying to get that line working there. He can't seem to get the grip in the middle of the corner and on exit that Door does up on that high line there. Door is loving this right now, although he probably want to clear him, and he does actually. He does clear Franzoni.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit of an arrow wash from the car in front there, the leader from Shadid, and had to kind of roll out of it, and right now that allowed the launch off the corner for Door to get that position, and now he resumes a pretty strong hold on P2s. They're going through turns 3 and 4 here, getting ready to complete lap 35, going to lap 36 here this 85-lap race.
This gaggle of cars behind them is looking like an angry swarm of hornets behind them. Pinero trying to hold off Eckert, and Christopher Demeritte works his way around the high side of Alexandre Gon, trying to clear him, and indeed he does, as Eckert trying to work the low line on Pinero.
See, a lot of the guys trying to use those rumble strips there to help the car rotate. Watch right there, you see Demeritte get down on a little bit, help the car rotate. You saw Eckert down on him. He's trying to get the car to rotate. Here comes Pinero getting the inside of Franzoni in the 3. Pinero definitely down on the rumble strips there, helping to get the car to rotate. He gets a good launch off the corner. Oh, we're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Who is going to be brave? Oh, and there's contact right there.
Down. Eckert, a little bit of contact there, sends that number 9 into the wall. Caution is out once more. Yeah. The pole sitter is out of the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, you kind of saw that one coming. You weren't sure who was going to roll out of that one first, but 3 wide going into turn 1 even at a wide turn one and a wider track like Milwaukee, not a good track to do that on. And guess what? I think now, if I'm Shadid and Dorr, I pit.
Possibly so. And looking at the incident between Eckert and Franzoni, even to add more insult to injury to Franzoni's incident there, netcode strikes again. There was quite a sizable gap on my monitor between Eckert's car and Franzoni's car, but unfortunately iRacing system thought otherwise, and that discrepancy has led to disaster for one of the fast cars tonight.
Take a look at a couple extra angles. That one, Franzoni, Eckert's roll bar. What it looked like to him from an eagle's eye point of view, right above the driver's head. Here we go. Yep, and there was obvious netcode there.
Such a shame there for Franzoni. And Franzoni not happy for what I'm seeing in the chat there. And rightly so, I would imagine. There was a bit of an error by Franzoni running way, way higher than he should have coming off of turn 4. But iRacing's netcode was ultimately what did him in. Not happy with Eckert for forcing the issue there, but really, if things had worked out the way it should have, that was not going to be an incident at all. But speaking of Eckert, he is the only driver to come into the pits on this caution. So everybody seems to be sticking to their guns on this one. Shadid and Dorr are likely going to be stretching out this fuel as much as they possibly can, and maybe coming in around the same time that everyone else, the Pinero, Demerit, Ragon, and such, will want to come in as well and basically cancel out their strategy.
I think one of the things we learned last week from Mark Murphy in his interview, the podium interview we had with him, is that a couple of these drivers, even though they don't look like team cars, they are working with one another. I'm wondering if Shadid and Dorr might be one of those working agreements of the American drivers trying to work together here to help their chances against the strong Brazilian and Iberian drivers that we have here in Indy Fixed. And I'm wondering if possibly they're working together. I mean, the kind of the clue I have is they're both on the same pit cycle. That's not a definite for sure, but it's just my feeling that they could be working together based upon that they're both still staying out.
Possibly. I'd love to figure out if that is the case. But Shadid and Dorr have been playing this strategy very, very well right now. Very aggressive defense on the part of Justin Dorr has kept them up there. But Pinero and Demerit, once again, are going to be back in the fight, especially these two. They are going to be very, very strong, I would wager. They want to get these passes done. So let's see if finally these are going to be the guys to break that stalemate. As we have one more lap to green, it'll be lap 43 out of 85 as we get just over the halfway mark here at the Milwaukee State Fairgrounds. At the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds, I should say. Not Milwaukee, but it is the Milwaukee Mile, a track we all know and love. Or some people may not, but it's a classic for certain. And this could turn into a classic of a race if Shadid and Dorr are able to make this strategy work in their favor, I would think. But as we're getting ready to go green, let's see how aggressive everyone will be. It's been pretty aggressive restarts. It's been clean but brisk, I would say, when it comes to making these pass attempts here. As the pace car peels off.
I gotta imagine Pinero's gonna want to get by, and these two for P1, P2 get a great jump on everything. Again, makes me think they're working with each other.
Especially good start for Shadid there. He gets a good launch over Dorr, and now Pinero is forced back into the clutches of Christopher Demerit, the championship leader this season against the champion from season 4 of 2021. Making a return to the series and a very good drive, which we all would expect from the man, as now he's running right up on the gearbox of Pinero there, trying to force the issue and make sure that he's the one that's going to be going after them rather than Pinero himself. And now Alexandre Ragon, who started 11th, he's been one of the guys that is was struggling in qualifying, and now he's running in the top 5. Very good run there as Demerit goes down to the inside. Side by side once more as Pinero running up and higher than he probably would have wanted there. And Pinero has to yield that spot there as we're gone now, looking to the inside as well.
No help from your teammate there. He was looking for the spot, but Demerit, the Team I5G entry, of course, it is almost their time of the year. It's almost the month of May where these guys come out and just dominate every fixed and open Indy 500 there is. It's almost their time of the year. He's getting some seat time in here as he's looking now underneath door for P2, trying to move on up here on these guys that have been out with these much worn and older tires.
Worn tires or not, Justin Door's defense has been steadfast up until now, but Demerit seems to have him this time. Down the backstretch once more. Will he clear him in the 3? I believe he will. And Pinero looks to be going with him there as he runs way up on the high line there. And Door, sadly for him, he has to deal now with Pinero, but he's lost P2. And Demerit sets his sights now on Trey Shadid.
I think Door was trying to give a little extra room and then hit the gray and kind of washed up a little bit. But he's still holding on to P3. He ran the high side that time around 1 and 2 and held off Pinero. I wonder how long these guys are, much longer these guys are going to go. We've had the three cautions now, right? So we're talking about 50 laps to about a green flag run if these guys started, if we went all green from here on out. So we're thinking maybe they're going to be pitting right around a lap 60 or so. So they're probably about 10 laps, 15 laps away from definitely having to stop these top 2.
Either way, they are going to have to make pit stops.
Yeah.
And now here comes Demerit looking to the inside of Shadid into turn number 1. And now move that number 2 up to the lead. Christopher Demerit, the champion who was winning things left, right, and center almost every time he made an appearance here on the Monday night broadcast. He comes back in style and he takes over the lead. And Pinero now. That battle with Justin Door. Door has not let him by in the slightest. He is not giving up this podium spot. And now Pinero gets a great launch off of turn 2 down the backstretch. And let's see if he can get this to work this time.
Pinero, he
Door still running very high. He does clear him, though.
Yeah, Pinero gets around this time. Door running very high. But there's 2 cars behind this battle. Jesper Orman now up to P6. Take a look at the Indy Alliance entry here.
And Jesper Orman started 14th in this race. Not what we expect to see of him, but now running up in a battle for the top 5 as ahead of him. Vergon looks to the inside of Justin Door for 4th place, and he clears him quite handily there. Can Orman follow through on that? And it looks like he will there. Yep. And I think Door's tires are really starting to show their age here.
Yeah, they are spent. But the thing is, do you pit now, or do you just wait till you go to the bitter end? Oh, he slid right in there between himself, Orman, and the Dakota the Maid made it through. Now he's working down low. The Maid now looking up high. Now back down low, trying to find some clean air so he can get his way around turns 3 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, down the backstretch.
Orman does clear him there. Door had a peek down to the inside once more, not quite able to get up alongside. But now Dakota DeMeg has got to be his biggest worry right now. And that's always the big question mark you have in this situation if you're Justin Door. Do you come in now, get the fresh tires, and try to make up the track position under green? Or do you hold out until a possible yellow? Or at worst, you hold out until the tank is completely dry? It's always a tough question to ask because simply, you don't know what comes next.
Well, I mean, strategically, who can make it to the end now at this point? We know Door and Shadid cannot. Can everyone else make it to the end with that last caution that just popped up? Or do we have to stop one more time?
It's going to be sketchy. If they are going to make it, they're going to have to make a lot of fuel saving if they're going to make it work. I'm not going to rule it out completely yet, but I think it's going to be a big ask of everybody involved. As now I'm looking at Trey Shadid and Alexander Vergon battling it out for P3 now. And Shadid in the same position as Door tire-wise as Vergon getting a little bit squirrely there in turns 3 and 4. He is going to be trying everything to make up this position as now he's got Orman looking all over him to the inside and 1. Caution is out. And it's Adriano Verporti around off of turn number 4. Looks like a single car incident once again. Seems to be the caution du jour of the day today that we are seeing tonight. 3 of the 4 cautions have been for self-spins off of turn 4.
Yeah, that's just a little too much weight, Jacker, and underpower. The back end comes around as they're trying to get the car to rotate. He is back underway, just a little bit of a bruised ego and some damaged tires. He'll probably hit pit road, get those changed. But I got to imagine that Shadid and Dorr will hit pit road this time by and get those tires changed. But the thing is now, they are good to go to the end, but I think everyone else is going to pit too, and they will be good to go to the end, I think.
And honestly, this is probably the best case scenario for both Shadid and Dorr, especially if they all come in. Let's see what they do. Demerit looking inside. Yeah. Oh no, he's not. He's staying out.
Yeah, Shadid
but
has
Trey Shadid and Justin Dorr, they really have no other choice.
They have no choice. And coming with them is Dakota DeMaid.
Yes, indeed. Dakota DeMaig coming in as well.
Out. Matt Houston's going to stay out. He's going to move him up into the middle of the top 10. So we did a little bit of a reset. Got Demerit now, who did a pump fake, decided to stay on the track, thinks that he might be able to make it to the end, or at least he doesn't want to pit now. We got Pinero, P2. Ragon, his teammate, in P3. Jesper Orman, who's up 10 spots, now P4. John Dunham, who had that spin earlier on, has worked his way up to P5. Bruno Miranda and that Yukos Racing eSports entry, he is now P6. Matt Houston, the boss man, the Houston Gambler there, throwing again a little bit of a gambling action this time. Decides not to pit, moving up to P7. Eckert, who had that incident with Franzoni a little bit earlier in turn 1. He's now P8. Beto Sousa is also teammates there to Pinero and Ragon. He is back there in P9. And then the first of the cars that pitted, Shadid, Dorr, DeMaid, Baroni, Cabral, Verporti, Neben, all these guys back here have decided to go ahead and pit to throw on probably that last set of tires. Although since Shadid and Dorr have not pitted up until now, they have one more set of tires in the pits that they can go to if they need them, possibly on a late caution. We'll see. But that's the field situation as we look at it right now. So those guys that were just up at the top, Shadid and Dorr, they are now 10th and 11th respectively. And if everyone has a pit in front of them, they got a bit of a cruise going on. But we'll see what goes on with all these other cars in front of them.
Indeed, and looking actually at the chat there, Justin Dorr communicating to Trey Shadid, saying it was worth a shot, and they gave it a good effort there, but it's still not over for them. I would say they're like Shadid in the top 10, Dorr knocking on the door, pun possibly intended, but they still might have a chance to gain some spots out of this, especially since they are now on the freshest rubber in the field. So I'm not going to rule them out completely for making some bold moves here, especially once again, we're coming to another restart, and the restart is the time when you guys want to make the aggressive moves, especially this close to the end. But the lights are out once more on the pace car. Lap 63, we will be coming back to green flag racing on Christopher Demerit in his return to Indy Fixed competition before the month of May. We'll see if he can start off the month before that month even starts in style here on the Monday night broadcast. A reigning champion in the series from 2 seasons ago. Didn't race much last season, but now comes back for a one-off appearance, it would seem. Maybe a few more down the line next month. And let's see if he can start it off right. Pace car down. Demerit with the launch. Pinero back in the clutches of Ragon there. Well, I know, of course, that they're teammates, but let's see if there's a bit of team spirit here tonight, as Jesper Orman is going to be the guy they're going to have to keep an eye out there in case any team shenaniganry goes wrong. But Demerit leading the way once more. Pinero still has good grip underneath him, it would seem. as he's trying to give himself as much of grip as he possibly can there, running a little bit outside the slipstream of Demerit's number 2 machine. But still, it's going to be a big ask, I would think, between these two titans of the Indy Fixed Series, it would seem.
Those cars with the new tires all fighting with themselves back there for P9, 10, 11, and 12. And looks like Trey Shadidah's finally broken loose there, so he's going to set sail for Beto Sousa in P9. But we got Dor and DeMade now are still battling each other for P11.
This is something I'm sure that Dor in particular doesn't really want to see, because, again, not only is Dor on fresh rubber, but so is DeMade. But they want to be gaining spots ahead of them. They don't want to be fighting each other. Well, at least Dor doesn't. DeMade probably does here. He wants whatever position he can as we get close to the end of this race.
Battle brewing here. Matt Houston working his way up to the rear attenuator of Raphael Eckert. This is a battle for P7.
And you can see ahead of him there, Eckert using that using the curbing there in the middle of 1 and 2 to give that car a little bit of rotation that he wants there. You can certainly make that work, but I'd call it one of the biggest double-edged swords in IndyCar competition right now on iRacing.
Very much.
If you can make it work, it's spectacular. But if you get it wrong, it could probably end your day.
Yeah, very embarrassing in your day. And you watch right there, just about almost on corner exit. He gets down there, touches it, helps the car rotate a little bit.
Houston.
Time from the shoulder.
Caution's out. Baroni in the wall. We're just joining his on-car cam right there. We'll see what happens. And it looks like for the 4th time tonight, just got loose off of turn number 4. This seems to be quite a common predicament for a lot of drivers. Milwaukee can certainly catch out someone who's not aware of its little idiosyncrasies, but this seems to be a very
so lucky. Let's while we're under caution, let's go ahead and hop on Justin Dor's in-car on that one. And get ready to witness a Code Brown moment right here, as we will go over the shoulder here of Justin Dor, a little bit further back here. Let's get it. Let's set it up here. Just show you how fast things happen here in IndyCar.
Certainly, might want to check to see if your clothes are doing just fine after that one. How close that was. That was.
Oh my goodness.
That was a hair-raising moment, to be sure.
Let's wow. That was, yeah, whoo. Wow.
But it really is quite interesting, because as much as a lot of people like to deride people that race in open servers, that a lot of people don't know what they're doing, but these guys certainly do know what they're doing. These are the top split guys. These are guys who race with each other very often. They know the car, they know the tracks. It's really quite interesting to me that here tonight, turn 4, the exit of 4, seems to be it's caught at least 4 drivers out tonight. It's quite interesting why that would be the case.
Yeah, we had a race, I forget which race it was. I believe it was when we did the iRacing IndyCar Series Texas race, where a lot of people were having much the same issue off of turn 2. And it's just like, you know, your top split guys, you probably should have tested, or at least known this was going to happen. But I mean, even sometimes some of the best get caught out unawares, and it just sneaks up on them. Some of that might be a little complacency. Some of that might just be that the car kind of gave up on them. But yeah,
or could just be aggression.
Weird. Yeah, it could just be a little bit. They take the car much farther past than the car performance will exceed. So yeah,
indeed. And as and all you need to do is look and see what happened to Charles Leclerc at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix this past weekend at Imola. A little bit too much aggression can cost you, in his case, a podium in that particular race. And even among the best in Formula One can be caught out at times, whether by their own making it or just by not being as prepared as they probably would have. In Leclerc's case, it was definitely being very, very aggressive. but it's caught out some of us tonight here in Indy Fixed. As we're getting ready, we'll probably be having one more lap to until green flag once more. So it'll be lap 74 that will be going back to green. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the end here. And every caution is really helping the case of Pinero, Demerit, Ragon, and Orman to be able to make it to the end on fuel here.
Yep, and a lot of people ask, what our Twitter addresses are. They want to add us on Twitter, want to add RaceVerse on Twitter, want to add me on Twitter, want to add Steven on Twitter. Well, here are our Twitter addresses right there at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at RaceVerse, at Gary Gatso, at RacerBoyStevieX, and that will get you in direct contact with us on Twitter. And
feel free to follow me if you want one new tweet a year.
Make sure also like, share, subscribe on our run to 1,000K here in terms of subscriptions. Getting ready to go green, hopefully to round this race out. We'll see what happens. Demerit taking the field, bringing them down slowly, and that could
bit of a stack up there.
Yeah, stack up behind.
Caught some of them out there, and Bruno Miranda came very close there. I'm not sure if he trying to see. It looks like he may have gotten away with a penalty there, but they're going 3 wide now with Matt Houston looking down the low side. Not quite enough to make it fully, but he'll tuck back in the line there. People getting themselves back into order once more. But that aggression here, this is go time for everybody involved for whatever track position they can grab. As we're going to be coming to 10 laps to go. This time by at the Milwaukee Mile. Christopher Demerit looking set for another win. Pinero, though, right in his wheel tracks. He's going to make it a fight to the end here. It's about half a second gap there between the top two. But in the mid-pack here, I'm seeing Trace Shadid trying to make moves on Matt Houston here for 8th.
Yeah, we got them on camera right now. They battle for P8. With the much fresher tires. Oh, he was set it on in there.
Got really close to that rear attenuator light on that number 18 machine. Did Trace Shadid. And now he's got a bit of a launch here off of the corner there, looking to the inside into turn number 3. Can he make this work? And can he bring Matt's teammate, no less, in Dakota DeMay to try and make the move there? Ooh, a little bit pushy there. And DeMay trying to take the opportunity there, but this is turning into a feisty battle here.
Yeah, I think he washed up right in front of DeMay. I think DeMay had to kind of make some evasive moves to prevent getting into the back of, or if he did, maybe he 0x'd it or something, but that was extremely close here as we got 7 to go. And right now, Demerit has about a second lead over Pinero. Right now, watching this really close battle for P7, P8, 9, and 10 here, the back end of the top 10.
And still, though, this has got to be a bit frustrating for Trace Shadid in this situation as we're working 6 to go here. Shadid on the fresh rubber, and the same with DeMay, but the defense here can be very strong here. You can really defend your position very hard here, as we've seen all night. And it was something that Justin Dorr was doing, partly in defense of Shadid, but it's the same now with Shadid being the guy frustrated by the efforts of the driver trying to hold them off. In this case, it's Matt Houston, and Houston's doing a very, very good defensive stand here as we're working 5 to go.
The battle brewing back here for P4. Sean Dunham makes his way around Jesper Orman.
And Dunham, hats off to Sean Dunham so far for this race. He started in 10th here, and he got himself up to 5th, but then he fell back down the order, and he spun, bringing out one of the cautions. He was one of the guys caught out by what we were talking about before, that little slip up in turn 4. And now look at him, up to P4. If there was a Driver of the Day award here tonight, it may well be Sean Dunham at this point for his amazing comeback drive.
Up 6 spots, Jesper Orman up 9. Matt Houston up 8. Those are your big gainers of the race so far. Andre Ragon also up 8.
Dunham now trying to chase after Ragon, but now working 2 laps to go. The chances are starting to fall away as Pinero about a 7/10 of a second lead behind Christopher Demerit, making his return to the Indy Fixed Monday night broadcast. The champion of Season 4 2021 makes a one-off appearance in the series, and as is the case here with Demerit, he usually makes it in style. White flag is flying. 1 more to go for Christopher Demerit. And kicking off the month of May before it even begins in the best possible way for Team I5G. Off of turn number 4, Christopher Demerit getting ready for Indy. Why not start off with a win here at Milwaukee?
Not quite May, but why not?
It's May in our hearts, I'll put it that way. Pinero P2, Ragon 3rd, Sean Dunham with a comeback drive. He gets 4th, Jesper Orman 5th. And a very, very sterling effort there. Shadid holds on to 9th, Justin Dorr 12th there. The off strategy guys not quite working in their favor. But Christopher Demerit pulls another win in style as we get ready to head to the Brickyard, not just for Indy Fixed, but for the month of May here on iRacing as we get ready for the iRacing Indianapolis 500.
About that time. We talk about that in the race for sure. And let's get tonight's final results in here from Milwaukee. Thanks for bearing with us for the technical issue that we had going on earlier. We'll look into that and see what happened. But we at least got you to the checkered flag. Christopher Demerit did take that checkered flag. His first win of the fixed season. Adriano Pinero, your fixed Indy Fixed points leader. Looks like he's going to extend his lead for Cordy. He finished 2nd. And his teammate, and this is Pinero's teammate, Alexander Ragon. Actually, you know what? Forporti is also part of that Bread King team there. But Pinero 2nd, and Ragon finishes a very solid P3. Of course, the comeback of the race, Sean Dunham, P4, and Jesper Orman, P5. Rounding out your top 10, Eckert, Miranda, the boss man, Houston, Shadid, Demaid, round out your top 10 there. No interview with Cabral. I'm disappointed too, but there will be another time where we'll get an interview with Cabral. He finishes 11th, Dorr 12th, Forporti 13th, Sousa 14th, and Baroni 15th. Got a very short field today, so we'll get you the next page here. Neben, Franzoni, and Aquesta round out this 18-car field. Not even IRL size. I think you said we were what, champ car size field of 18. normally IRL would put 19 to 20 cars, and champ car back in the day would do about 18 cars or so on a grid. I think any more here might have made things a little bit interesting, but any more than 18, I think, is probably a good number for a mile oval in a race this short. So 18 cars did take the green flag, and 15 made the finish there. So that rounds out for final results for tonight. Anybody in the interview room? And we do have Christopher Demerit. And before we bring him on up, go ahead and get some shots of his car. So everyone will have something to watch with him talking. Now, wow, he sent the Demerit there. He had the fastest lap. His fastest lap of the race was very late in the race. So closers be closing hard there as he really decided to put an exclamation point on his win here by putting in the big lap right there at the end. Let's bring Chris on up here. Hey, Chris, got you in the broadcast booth. Yeah, you're on mute in the moment, but there you go. What a way to kind of start off your pre-month of May for Team I5G with a win going into possibly your team's biggest month of the season. kind of show up today and have a nice little start at the front of the field, work your way around some couple cars there. Next thing you know it, you're in the lead, and next thing you know it, you got to win. Congrats! Tell us about your race.
Yeah, thanks. It was an interesting one. Qualifying didn't go nearly the way I thought it would. I
Why
guess I
was
was
that?
practicing and I ran 2 tenths slower than I thought I was going to, but everyone else did. So it seemed like the track was. I probably just tested in the wrong track temp or something. My weight jacket was set wrong. I was sawing at the wheel for the second lap. It did not feel good. I thought it was worse than that, but it was good enough for fourth at least. And then, yeah, honestly, I think those two cars that stayed up to try to save fuel for the entire race kind of saved my race because then everyone else also got stuck in the dirty air, and Adriano or I think Franzoni
Mm-hmm.
um, wasn't able to just run away with it in clean air. So that kind of saved me. I was surprised that Adriano wasn't able to get by them any quicker. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun race. That was fun to finish fourth or whatever after how usually hard it is to pass in Milwaukee. So it's a good way to start to get into May.
But Steven?
And speaking of the month of May, there's quite a lot of excitement about it, of course, as there always is. I'm personally very excited for running the 500, both fixed and open here. So, and of course, we're going to do a lot of IndyCar fixed here at the Brickyard for the coming weeks. And I'd imagine you'd be making some appearances in that to get ready for the big show.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. I think our focus will be on kind of doing our own practice races with our open set just to get used to it over and over and over again. But I'll probably have time to jump into the fixed races. I haven't spotted about where they are actually, like what weeks they are yet, but I'll definitely keep out for them. It'll be um I look forward to running Indy no matter what it is. So
Yeah.
I might show up. I'm not gonna commit, but it is very fun, and I am looking forward to the Indy 500.
And another, and one thing I've always been wanting to get your take on is when you do the Indy fixed races, especially when there's around when the hype surrounding a big event like the Indy 500 is just around the corner. I'm wondering what sort of takeaways can you get from these kind of races here going into those bigger events?
It's just really kind of seat time, getting used to how the car works in clean air versus traffic, and just kind of getting back in it. Um, I mean, it always helps to run at Indy specifically better with the right track temp and the right setup. But I mean, even the fix set will kind of get you back in the mindset of what your strategy needs to be and where you want to be, how much fuel you can save, those sorts of things, because those are all play a huge factor in the race. So it's just kind of little things here and there adding up that you need to get sharp on again.
Well,
Ex-
seat time. So anytime you can get it, I've always been told is always a good thing. So yeah, I would imagine whether it's on a road course or on an oval, anytime that you can get behind the wheel in a car and get at least a feel of the tire model, a beneficiary, even though you're not exactly at Indianapolis. But I'm sure we will see you in one form or another. I know we will see members of your team in one form or another in the mini fixed. Let's see, we got Indy Fixed is going to be there in about 2 weeks. Then the Indy Fixed 500 is in about 2 weeks. Open is in 3 weeks, and the IIS Open is also in about 3 weeks. So I'm sure we're going to see plenty of Team I5G cars in many of those races.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be running those and getting ready.
Yeah. While we got you here and your great run, any shout outs, anybody you want to say hi to, sponsors, friends, family, what have you? Go ahead.
Just all of Team I5G. Actually ran a different League Indy 500 this past weekend and did pretty well. It was a good way to shake down the car, to get some notes on how other people are. But yeah, everyone from I5G, we're all super excited for the Indy 500, and we're getting ready to go in it.
Well,
Basically head on.
well, congratulations. We know one thing, Team I5G definitely know what in. So congratulations. Hopefully we will see you at one of the Indy races coming up. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your night and savor the victory.
Thanks, guys.
Got it. Boom. And I don't think there's anybody else here for an interview. That's too bad. All right. Well, final thoughts on the night. And then next week, we are moving on to, look at my, when I write, we are moving actually on to Indianapolis next week for the Grand Prix. So before your final thoughts on Milwaukee tonight and your initial thoughts on the Grand Prix next week there, Stephen.
Well, Milwaukee it's very much a driver's track, and the best drivers tonight came to the forefront there. The defense was very strong. It was actually a lot stronger than I expected. You could actually hold on to positions very, very well. And again, that aggressive driving you needed to do on the restarts, it really did show. And a lot of guys here, they want to get themselves into some semblance of a mindset going into next month, especially since the month of May is the month that literally every driver who drives the Indy cars gets excited for. This is kind of an exciting little prelude to what is to come at Indianapolis, both on the big super speedway for the fixed series, the 500, and every series that'll run there, but also for the road course next weekend. Is going to be our second road course of the season after Monza earlier. But Indy road course, it's gonna be quite a different animal compared to a lot of things we'd see. It's a draft track in many ways, but it's also very technical as well. And one thing that's always been and one question that's been on my mind is, would we get the new configuration of Indianapolis? And I haven't heard too much news about whether or not that's going to be the case, so I'm gonna be they're gonna stick with the old one for now until I'm told otherwise here, which is a bit of a shame, but at the same time, with a lot of drivers getting prep work in for Indy Road, I think it would be a good choice to lay back on that until we actually get ready for the 500 itself after that week.
All right, got a little bit of breaking news before we get out of here. We do have a bit of an unofficial schedule for Indy fixed. Just hit my feed right now. We'll real quickly go over the tracks that they have chosen for the next season. They will start off with Michigan, and then they will go to the Daytona Road Course. Then they will go to New Hampshire, which is a track we have not seen in a while, Chicagoland, Iowa, Kentucky, Indy, Long Beach, Gateway, Pocono, Legacy, Texas, and then Kansas. So that is your schedule for next season: Michigan, Daytona, the road course, New Hampshire, Chicagoland, Iowa, Kentucky, Indy, Long Beach, Gateway, Pocono, Texas, Legacy, Texas, and Kansas. Well, I would like to thank everyone for bearing with us on tonight's technical issue. Not sure how that happened, why it happened. Have not done anything differently than we have done at any number of previous races, but for some reason, it did not get pushed down to you guys. So many apologies about that, and believe me, it's just as it's more embarrassing for me because I like to do what I like to do here, and we'll make sure that we'll take a look and find out what the heck happened, and it won't happen again. But thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for coming back and finding the remainder of the race here on the channel. And do make sure that you like, share, and subscribe because this stuff isn't easy. It's a lot harder than it looks than just coming out here, pushing record, and saying, "Hey, here's a car," passing them. So I think that's it. I'm very much looking forward, of course, to Indianapolis. That is my home track. That is my hometown. I live just about 40 minutes north of the Speedway, at least a 40-minute drive to the Speedway from where I live. So even if it's a Grand Prix, Formula One race, even as when the taxi cabs race there, it's always exciting to see some action happening at Indianapolis, preferably. So let's go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll get you into the remainder of your night and into next week. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Milwaukee is Christopher Demaris. Adriano Pinero, and Alexander Ragon. Join Steve and myself next week for race first coverage around 7 of the Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split of Season 222, coming from the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis, for the Indy Fix Grand Prix. Coverage begins at 8:15 Eastern Time. It's 8:15 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy, as you see. They require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you commercial-free coverage of the last 2 IndyFix seasons. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and have enjoyed our coverage of the Monday Night IndyFix Top Split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is at the bottom of the screen and also in the description. And donate to our Season 222 Monday Night Fix Indy Top Split Broadcast 1. We do realize times are tough, so any contribution we greatly appreciate it. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Monday evening. As you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support Race First and with the weekly grind there, and leave a comment below and let us know about tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing the like button just like this. Boom. Thumbs up, click, done. And if you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders just like this so you don't miss out on more of Race First's iRacing IndyCar program, including our continued coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series on the Friday Top Split. And when the summer, we'll have the returns for the Schaefer IndyCar Series and the Race First Formula Indy Series. And don't forget, Friday, May 13th, join us as we'll bring you coverage of Day 1 of the Fixed Indy 500 Bottom Split. So keep your browser set here for the most in-depth knowledge of all of iRacing on IndyCar. That's Race First. We know what Indy means. For business inquiries, learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or follow us on Twitter. You can follow all of us on Twitter right here. Here's all of our handles one more time at the bottom of the screen, and you can follow us right there. So for Stephen Larkamp, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gottsel saying to all, good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for forgiving our minor technical issue. But to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Thanks again, and catch us next week for the next race of the Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split, coming to you from the world's greatest race course, Indianapolis. Good night.